Right now, as you walk down Fifth Avenue, as you grab coffee in Midtown, as you wait for the subway in Lower Manhattan, you're standing above a secret network. Miles and miles of tubes, silent, abandoned, waiting in the darkness. No, I'm not talking about sewers. I'm not talking about subway tunnels. I'm talking about New York City's pneumatic mail system, a technological marvel that once moved millions of letters at 35 miles per hour through underground tubes. And here's the crazy part. Most New Yorkers have absolutely no idea it exists. Let me tell you the story of the ghost network beneath America's greatest city. Picture this. It's 1893. New York City is exploding. The population just hit 3 million people. And the post office? It's drowning. Mailmen are hauling sacks through streets jammed with horses, carriages, and pedestrians. A letter going from Wall Street to Harlem could take 6 hours, sometimes longer. The city is moving faster than the mail can keep up. But one man has a vision. John Wanamaker, the Postmaster General, looks at New York and sees something nobody else does. He doesn't see congestion. He sees opportunity, because while the streets above are chaos, below ground, that's empty real estate. Wanamaker had seen pneumatic tube systems in Philadelphia and Paris. Small operations, proof of concept, but he's thinking bigger, way bigger. What if you could shoot mail across Manhattan at speeds that would make a horse-drawn carriage look like it's standing still? What if you could bypass every traffic jam, every crowded street, every delay? What if you went underground? The project launches in 1897 with a single tube running from the General Post Office to the Produce Exchange. 8-inch diameter pipes buried 20 feet below the surface. Inside these tubes, metal cylinders packed with letters. And the power source? Air pressure. Pure pneumatic force. Compressed air pushing these cylinders through the tubes at 35 miles per hour. The first test is successful. Then, remarkable, letters that used to take an hour now arrive in 5 minutes. The city takes notice. Over the next 15 years, New York City goes all in. They start digging, and they don't stop. By 1904, the network stretches across 27 miles of underground tubes connecting 23 postal stations across Manhattan and Brooklyn. We're talking about a complete circulatory system for mail flowing beneath the busiest city in America. The General Post Office on 8th Avenue becomes the beating heart. Tubes branch out like arteries, north to Harlem, south to the financial district, east across to Brooklyn. Every major post office, every sorting facility, connected. And the volume? Staggering. At its peak, this system is moving 95,000 letters a day. That's 35 million pieces of mail a year flying through darkness at speeds that won't be matched by surface delivery for decades. The carriers, those cylindrical containers, they're engineering marvels themselves. 24 inches long, 7 inches in diameter, made of steel and leather. Each one holds up to 600 letters. They're loaded at stations, placed into airlocks, and then, whoosh, pneumatic pressure shoots them into the network. Think about what's happening here. In 1905, while the first automobiles are just starting to appear on New York streets, there's already a high-speed delivery network operating underground. Fully automated, no drivers, no traffic, just air and physics. Postal workers at each station can hear them coming. A whooshing sound through the pipes, a thump as the carrier hits the receiving chamber. Pop open the container, grab the mail, sort it, send it off again. The system runs 24 hours a day. Christmas, New Year's, doesn't matter. Day and night, these tubes are humming with activity, and the impact on delivery times? Revolutionary. A letter mailed from the Bronx to Wall Street used to take half a day. Now it arrives in under 30 minutes. Business letters sent in the morning get responses by afternoon. The pace of commerce in New York City literally accelerates because information is moving faster. Newspapers love it. Mail at lightning speed reads one headline. The eighth wonder of New York claims another. For 40 years, this system is the pride of the Postal Service. But nothing lasts forever. The first crack appears in the 1920s. Not in the tubes themselves, those are working fine. The problem is what's happening above ground. Motor trucks. Henry Ford's assembly line makes vehicles cheap. Suddenly, the post office can buy fleets of trucks for less than it costs to maintain miles of underground pneumatic tubes. Trucks are flexible. You can route them anywhere. You don't need specialized infrastructure. And here's the thing nobody wants to admit. The tube system is expensive. Those underground pipes need constant maintenance. The compressors that generate air pressure, they're running on electricity 24 hours a day. That's a massive power bill. The carriers wear out. The leather seals need replacing. Leaks develop in the pipes. Every year, accountants are doing the math, and every year the math looks worse. But the system keeps running. Through the Great Depression, through World War II, millions of letters still flying through the darkness beneath Manhattan. Then comes 1953. The Postmaster General, a man named Arthur Summerfield, makes a decision. He's looking at the books. He's looking at the efficiency of modern trucks. And he shuts it down, not gradually, not station by station. The whole network. Closed. Done. On the last day of operation, postal workers send farewell messages through the tubes. Some of them have worked with this system their entire careers. They're watching history end. The final carrier shoots through the pipes, then silence. And here's where the story gets weird. They don't dismantle the system. They don't dig up the tubes. They don't remove the stations. They just leave it, all of it. 27 miles of tubes, receiving stations, compressor rooms, everything. They seal the access points and walk away. Fast forward 70 years. Right now, beneath your feet if you're in Manhattan, those tubes are still there. Most of them anyway. Some have been destroyed by new construction. When they dug the foundation for a skyscraper or expanded a subway line, they'd break through these old pneumatic tubes and just seal them off. But huge sections remain completely intact. Urban explorers who've accessed parts of the system describe something almost frozen in time. Tube sections still bolted to tunnel walls, old carrier cylinders left behind. Compressor rooms with equipment from the 1940s just sitting there, covered in decades of dust. The main post office building on 8th Avenue, now converted into the Moynihan Train Hall. That building still has remnants of the tube infrastructure in its basement levels. Sealed off, inaccessible to the public, but there. Some of the original tubes ran through subway tunnels for part of their route. Subway workers occasionally spot them, these 8-inch diameter pipes running along the walls. Mysterious, unexplained to newer employees who have no idea what they're looking at. In 2001, during the recovery efforts after 9/11s, workers in the debris around the World Trade Center found sections of pneumatic tubes. The system had run through that area. Nobody working the site knew what they were. That's how forgotten this network has become. A 27-mile engineering achievement, and it's been erased from collective memory. But here's what gets me. Here's what I keep thinking about. This wasn't ancient history. There are people alive today who remember this system in operation. There are New Yorkers who mailed letters that traveled through those tubes. It was real, it worked. It was faster than what we have now for certain types of delivery. And we just forgot about it. So why does this matter? Why am I telling you about 100-year-old mail tubes? Because the story of New York's pneumatic mail system teaches us something crucial about innovation, about infrastructure, and about the city we live in. First lesson, the best technology doesn't always win. The pneumatic tubes worked perfectly. They were faster than trucks for point-to-point delivery. They're still faster, but better doesn't matter if good enough and cheaper exists. Economics beat engineering. Second lesson, cities have layers. New York isn't just what you see on the surface. Beneath every street is history. Abandoned subway stations, old water mains, forgotten utility tunnels, and yes, pneumatic mail tubes. The city you walk through is built on top of the cities that came before. Third lesson, technology gets forgotten fast. In 1920, every postal worker in New York knew the system. By 1970, almost nobody remembered it existed. That's one generation. That's how quickly we lose our own history. But here's the fourth lesson, and it's the one I think about most. Innovation requires vision. When John Wanamaker proposed this system, people thought he was crazy. Shoot mail through underground tubes? Sounds like science fiction. But he saw what was possible, and he built it. And for 40 years it worked. Today, when tech companies talk about hyperloop systems or underground transportation networks, they're not inventing new ideas. They're reinventing old ones. Elon Musk's Boring Company wants to build tube systems under cities. We already did that. In 1897, the future sometimes looks a lot like the forgotten past. Next time you're in New York, stop for a second. Stand on a busy corner in Midtown. Feel the rumble of the subway beneath your feet. Listen to the traffic, the sirens, the chaos of the city. And remember, 20 feet down, sealed in darkness, there's a network of tubes that once carried the voice of this city at 35 miles per hour. Silent now, forgotten, but still there. The pneumatic mail system represents a version of New York that believed in grand solutions, that saw problems and built infrastructure. that invested in systems meant to last generations. Those tubes are still waiting in the dark, a ghost network, a reminder of what we once built and maybe what we've stopped building. The question isn't whether we could build something like this today. The question is, would we? If this story fascinated you, if you're hungry for more forgotten history, more hidden infrastructure, more stories about the incredible things buried beneath our cities, hit that subscribe button right now. I dig into these forgotten corners of American history every single week. The engineering marvels we've abandoned, the infrastructure we've forgotten, the stories that shaped the country we live in. Drop a comment and tell me, what other hidden infrastructure do you want me to investigate? What other ghost networks are waiting beneath our cities? And if you're in New York, go visit the Moynihan Train Hall. Stand in that beautiful space, and know that below it, in sealed rooms nobody visits, pieces of the pneumatic system are still there. History doesn't disappear, it just goes underground. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.